talking to my wife today, and I had this realization that since it's the 40th WrestleMania, I have been watching WrestleManias live as they're happening.
Okay.
Minus 2 in this time period. 22 years. From 18 onward. There's only been two that I have not seen as they were happening. That was 24 and 25. Besides that, I've seen everyone since 18, the night that it happened, or I was there. It gave me a little bit of whiplash, because, I mean, WrestleMania is still at WrestleMania 40, right? So it's somewhat young. I mean, compared to the Super Bowl, or you hear how long that the Grammys have been going on, or the Oscars, or 40 is still relatively young. So to know that for over half of it, that I've seen them as it happened, and I mean, some people might say that recently WrestleMania hasn't been great. As much as I love WrestleMania 1, go back and watch WrestleMania 1. All right, you got Buddy Rose under the mask as, I believe, the Executioner, fighting a young Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. You have Junkyard Dog winning a match by disqualification. Mr. T's in the main event. There was a body slam challenge. It wasn't great. The spectacle was there because it was Madison Square Garden. The celebrities were there, but the matches were not Mania quality that we expect today. I always find it funny, and I know we discuss this every year. You get those people, well, I didn't think WrestleMania was good this year because, all these rumors that were supposed to happen online. Goldberg's supposed to come back. Stone Cold's supposed to win the title. This is supposed to happen. They didn't happen, so I hate it. It's like the Royal Rumble, right? The Royal Rumble can be really good, but, I was really expecting MJF to jump from AEW, and he didn't. So this Royal Rumble gets a 0 out of 10 for me. People put their expectations so high, and that's what makes me worried about the Rock and Cody match, right? So far, I've heard rumors of, and I'll talk about more what ones I think are realistic, but for Cody and Rock, I've heard Dustin Rhodes, Stone Cold.
You mean Roman and Cody?
Oh, yeah. Dustin, Stone Cold, John Cena. I've heard Mick Foley. I've heard Rikishi. I've heard Lance Anoa'i. I've heard Jacob Fatu. I've heard Zilla Fatu. Of course, you have the idiots that think Moxley's gonna appear. Of course, you have the people that think MJF's gonna appear. Like, the list is just so big. Brock Lesnar's gonna return. Yeah, just, set your expectations low. All right, you've already got Roman and Cody in a rematch. Which I swear to God, I'm gonna say this right now before we get to anything. If Cody wins and I see a single peep out of anyone on Twitter or Facebook, oh, I didn't like that he won. I really wanted Roman to get this record. Go fuck yourself.
No, you don't.
Because I've heard nothing for the past. I'll just say 365 days. The past year of whining and crying. Cody didn't win it, because people don't have, and we've talked about this too, the attention span for a long-term feud anymore.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, if anything goes past 6 months, people are drooling on themselves, and they don't know what to do. Like, what happened to the good old day? Could you imagine with Hogan and Savage, how it went a full year?
Yeah.
Or Hogan and Andre, how it went 9 months? Or Austin and Rock, how it went a couple years.
Well, you don't even have to go that far back. Just go back to when Becky Lynch came back and beat Bianca Belair. I remember seeing a thing on Twitter. It was like, oh, look at this racist booking by whoever. They had Becky just come back and just beat Bianca so quick. Well, now Bianca looks like a big old fucking loser. I'm like, it was so obvious from the moment it happened, at least to me. Like, This is just giving the baby face another mountain to climb, because that's what pro wrestling is. Your top baby face climbing the mountain to win the world championship. Then once they get there, they defend it. They have a great time. Blah blah blah. Then they get screwed out of it. They have to restart.
It's no fun to watch the babyface constantly have the title unless you have a Hogan or a Cena, larger than life. But even then, Hogan had to overcome the Bundys, the Andres, the Hakus, the one-man gangs, etc. Cena had to overcome Umaga, Kali, Batista, etc., etc. So I just don't know what happened to wrestling fans.
We're getting mad over something that hasn't even happened yet.
Yeah.
Like Cody's gonna win. Like I think it's such a slam dunk. The thing is, I thought the same thing last year. Last year, it felt such like a shoe-in. This is great. Cody came back the previous year, was a mega star. It seemed like got injured, came back at the right time, entered the Rumble at 30, won, had all the momentum. Everybody was cheering him. He didn't get overshadowed by Sami Zayn like some people thought he would. And then night one, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn win. Like, oh shit, this is it. This is the downfall of the bloodline. And then it turns out we were just in the third inning.
And then after that happened, everyone, if you remember, this bloodline thing is getting so tiring. I can't believe it's gonna go another year. How are they gonna do it another year? Guess what? It's still one of the most exciting things in wrestling. So all you babies out there, all you, as Dwayne put it, all you Cody crybabies,
yeah, if you
just shut your mouth, sit back, and just go on the ride The Rock's taking you on. Because I'm sorry, I've got a couple friends, and if you're listening to this, I'm sorry, big guy. You said you hated The Rock came back. The Rock has done nothing but propel this feud. He's taken it into the stratosphere.
Yeah, well, I'll admit, we did a whole podcast about it last year. I was very pissed off that Cody
You were
lost.
heated.
I was mad. I thought, like, well, what the fuck
was the voice of reason.
Like, what was the fucking point of all this then? But if you had told me a year ago, like, okay, listen, The Rock's coming back, he's going to take Cody's spot. But people are going to be so pissed off that they change their mind again, and they do, which I can't believe it took them, like, what, we've been doing 2 nights for what, 3 years, 4 years now, 5 years?
Yeah.
This is the 5th Mania that has 2 nights. Why they haven't done, like, somebody main eventing both nights. But we're probably going to get that. But if you had told me all this was going to happen, I wouldn't have been so pissed. But at the time, I could not see this far ahead. I just felt like Cody Rhodes looked like a big goober after that.
Think of all the middle parts that happened, right? Cody's feud with Brock.
Yeah.
And in a way, I mean, it's terrible that Brock was involved with the lawsuit. It's terrible. In a way, it worked for Cody's story because it looks like Cody retired Brock Lesnar, like in kayfabe.
Yeah.
Cody and Jay winning the tag titles together and giving us that legendary press conference. I mean, if Paul Heyman and Triple H truly are the two masterminding all this, which I 100% believe. I'll see some people online, oh, it's not them, there's other people. I think it's these two. And I think this shows probably why the Attitude Era had some of the best writing, some of the best booking. Because if Triple H was in Vince's ear, like everyone says, Triple H was right there, him and Shawn Michaels. Yeah. And Paul Heyman was doing ECW. It shows. Like, I have nothing but great things to say about Triple H again. And I know we haven't even got to the card yet, but I can't believe he got Booker of the Year. It's deserved. All right. Not only for the fact that he picked up this company when Vince almost kamikazed it.
Yeah.
And everything, I won't say it's been A+ all the way around, but it's been interesting again.
Well, I understand the sentiment that some people have, specifically like our friend Andy. He told me he's not a big fan of WWE's style, which I understand. WWE is going to be WWE. They're going to put more emphasis on the spectacle, the entertainment part of it, not necessarily in ring, like product and moves. Because I'm trying to say this politely as I can. But this is what I'm all here for. I love WrestleMania. Like, yes.
Well, in WrestleMania, there's going to be at least 1 to 2 matches on there that are going to tear the house down because of the wrestling. Last year it was Gunther, McIntyre, Sheamus. This year I think it's going to be Gunther again, but I think it's going to be Gunther and Sami Zayn. There's always those ones. WrestleMania 21 had Eddie and Ray. WrestleMania 10 had Brett and Owen. 3 had Savage and Steamboat. There's always those one or two that you're like, damn, that's wrestling. And then you try and show it to the people in your life that are casual wrestling fans. I might not have watched WrestleMania.
Oh,
like,
buddy.
You've got to watch this.
Yeah. I am. This is either going to be like a fun night for me or like a personal hell because like I told you, I usually work like the weekends.
Yes. Yep.
But I have Friday night off because I have to go somewhere Saturday night. So that's why we're doing. I'll plug it now. Our live stream on Friday night for our PWP March Madness Night Before Mania, which we'll be talking about the WrestleMania card all throughout that live stream as well.
Yep.
But I am going to like a family event Saturday. It's something I do with with my fiance's family.
Okay.
Like every couple months, maybe like this is like a new tradition we're trying to do, like 2 or 3 times a year. We just go to somebody's house and like have like a game night type thing.
Okay.
And like have food and drinks, but it happens on Saturday. And WrestleMania Night 1 is happening. So I'm going to have to either like have them let me pull it up on one of their TVs at their house or watch it in the corner on my phone like a fucking loser. So we'll see what happens. I'll let you know. But that's the personal hell I'm in. So I'm hoping that you're right, that Gunther can kind of like put on a show. So maybe I don't get made fun of too much.
I think it'll be great.
he is night 1, thankfully.
Because I don't think Sami Zayn's had a bad Mania match since him and Daniel Bryan. I think Sami Zayn has put on banger after banger, and he is very underrated with what he does. And we talked about this when we were in Indianapolis, right? Because the person we were with didn't think Sami Zayn should beat Gunther. His exact words were, "I will kill myself." But the thing is, Sami Zayn was the first to truly put a crack in Roman Reigns' armor.
Yeah.
Sami Zayn was the first to pin the Usos. Why wouldn't he be the first? I guess first to pin Usos in their long tag title reign. Why wouldn't he be the first to pin Gunther? It makes so much sense. And it's just one of those things, just storytelling. And that's the thing I don't get too, and I'll get more into it when we get there. Everyone wants Gunther to go for the heavyweight title. Well, they're not. This isn't the 1980s. They're not going to have him challenge the heavyweight champion with the Intercontinental title.
Right.
He's going to have to drop it. But I guess we'll get there when we get there. Enough of me ranting about how fickle and waffly and stupid fans can be.
Well then, let's go through the card. We don't have to give our predictions yet. I want to save that for the end. We'll go through them in rapid succession and give our predictions. Let's go through the card. Okay. Can I give our thoughts on what we expect here? For night 1, the first match, I don't know if this is opening or not. I am on our Google Forms. We are doing a WrestleMania Pick'em. That'll be linked in the description, and it'll be all over our socials, so please enter into that. We might do the same thing for our WrestleMania Jeopardy video. If you comment on that, Logan won. You get into a contest to win, and the winner of this...
Logan is a winner.
Logan is a winner. If you enter our WrestleMania Pick'em contest and you end up winning, we'll do the same thing. We'll get you something off of our Etsy store.
So this one,
the first
Dragon
match,
Lee and Rey Mysterio versus Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio, Dirty Dom. I'm excited to see if they do some fun entrances. I'm gonna almost put my money on it that Rey and Dragon Lee will come out in an Eddie Guerrero lowrider.
I will bet my life savings on it.
Yeah, since they're the LWO. I'm also wondering if, because they're in Philly, if they'll come out in... I don't know if you remember the one time when Rey and Dominic came out in the old Los Gringos Locos gear, where they had the streamers, and it was like Eddie and his old partner Art Barr. Yeah. I don't know if Rey and Dragon Lee will do that. I still am curious why this match hasn't been made a mask versus hair match yet.
Well, it seems kind of obvious, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's why Dom's been growing his hair out. Because I can't imagine his wife wanted him to have that fucking mullet at their wedding.
Hey, it's an end look right now.
Yeah, I hate it.
I think the only reason they might be saving it for a Ray and Dom like 1-on-1 like final match at I don't know maybe like Backlash in France or something like that.
I didn't know if maybe they were gonna do 42 or 41. Have Dom and Santos pull something out in this one, and then Ray's got one, Dominic's got one. Only thing that'll up the ante even more is if the mask is on the line.
Maybe.
But yeah, this should be a fun one. People are they're not excited about this match. I wouldn't say I'm excited, but I think this will be a good one.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the LWO and then Santos' group get involved. I have this running theory that Balor and Priest will lose. Priest is going to cash in and lose. Rhea's going to lose, and Dom's going to lose this. And it's going to cause a Judgment Day to crumble.
The giant Judgment Day L.
Yep.
The L in XL stands for loser.
Take the L. Yeah, take the L, bozos.
But our next match for Saturday, Jade Cargill making her non-Rumble debut. I don't want to say single debut, but like an official match debut here. She teamed up with Bianca Belair and Naomi, and they're taking on Damage Control in a 6-women tag match. I'll be 100% honest with you. Not really a match I'm looking forward to.
I think this is going to be...
It's just one of those matches that kind of just got thrown together.
I think with the 6 competitors involved, it's going to be a good match. I think Dakota Kai is slept on a lot. My big thing with this one is, could you imagine if a year ago I told you Naomi, Jade Cargill, and Kairi Sane were going to be at WrestleMania 40?
In a match together?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is one of those things. What was Jade doing a year ago? She was, TBS champion?
Yep.
How the mighty have fallen, you know?
Yeah. There's probably some people online that believe that, too. Oh, she's in her first match. Her first actual match is at WrestleMania. It's terrible that it's not for the heavyweight title right off the bat. Boo.
She's not being booked right. But we'll say though, I don't know. She did have a good run in AEW.
Yes.
It'd be hard to top it immediately. She went she was undefeated up until the very end, until she lost to Chris Statlander.
Yeah.
So it'd be hard to top that. I don't think, and she's pretty green, I would say. So putting her in a match 1-on-1 against somebody like Rhea or Io Sky, I don't think was in the cards for this year. But definitely next year, I think her and Bianca are on a collision course eventually, whether it be SummerSlam or Mania next year. I think that's just a match that they tease it kind of already in the Rumble as just a match that has to happen.
Mania next year is either going to be Bianca and Rhea or Bianca and Cargill. I just don't know which route they'll go yet. I think it'll depend on how Cargill progresses, and if she's not progressing at the rate they want, then I think they'd pull the trigger on SummerSlam. But if she's progressing at the rate they want, then they'll save it for Mania, and then they'll try and erase the Bianca Sasha match.
You think so? They think they're that mad at her?
Probably.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest takeaway from it is Jade. How they're gonna portray her? How ready is she? They've kept her pretty hidden for the most part.
Yep.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll do our predictions later, but I don't think it's necessarily close who's going to win that one. But next is the 6-pack ladder match for the Undisputed Tag Team Championships. Now the big question for this one is we kind of talked about in the WrestleMania Jeopardy match, is somebody going to get taken out, specifically A-Town Down Under? And get replaced with a mystery tag team, whether it be the Hardys, the Dudleys,
or Pretty Deadly. I hope it's not Pretty Deadly. I really hope it's not the Hardys, because just to have them come out again in a ladder match would be so boring.
7 years after they did it the first time, and a lot better.
And the Dudleys, I mean, they clearly wouldn't win. It's in Philly. It's a ladder match. If they just have to do a spot where they put a bunch of people through tables with 3Ds, and the fans would just eat it up. At Squared Circle, Devon was looking, as good as Devon looks. I'd mark out if the Dudleys music hit.
Devon looked pretty ripped.
Yeah. And it would make sense even for them to take out those two, because how Bubba always is taking out, the young talent, or
Yeah.
he's talking shit to him, I should say. I'd love it. I don't want to get my hopes up too much, but I do think it's a strong possibility. Um, and I mean, the rest of these teams, they can carry the match. Awesome Truth have been phenomenal as of late. New Day's always top tier. Dunn and Bate have been a fun team to watch, even though their name's stupid. What can I say about DIY that hasn't been said? And then Priest and Balor, just it's a great team for Judgment Day to have representing them.
For sure. This is even without even without somebody like being introduced in. I think it's be a fine match.
Yeah.
So don't be too disappointed if nobody comes out.
I'm
Which
also
is the most
wondering,
likely scenario.
Yeah, I'm also wondering if instead of them being in the match, if they just make a run in.
I might even like that better, to be honest. Because because like you said, I don't really like the idea of the Hardys just coming back and winning a title, and I won't be hypocritical and say I'd be okay with the Dudleys doing that.
I think that's the thing too. I think if the Dudleys are in it, they wouldn't win the title. But if the Hardys were in it, there's a chance that they would win it.
Yeah, just cause.
Yep. Because I didn't get a long line, Jeff.
Speaking of brothers, we have what they call the third match that takes place between real brothers. I think that's what they said.
Yes.
They had had emphasized real. We have Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso, Yeet versus No Yeet.
It almost seems like Lil Wayne is going to come out with Jey Uso.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I'd love it.
We like Lil Wayne.
Lay off the cough syrup, Wheezy. Yeah, make it to the ring.
Now, is it just me? Again, I'm not watching every second of weekly programming here.
Yeah.
But I feel like this match was as hot as like after SummerSlam, like the prospects. I
think
of it.
so.
Like it felt like they kind of like, we separated them in the fake draft they did. I don't know if the time was adding up, but no, one of them's on SmackDown, one of them's on Raw, supposedly. I know that's
didn't one of them get traded?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Jay got traded to Raw.
Yep.
Because of Cody, I don't know.
Yeah.
And it just kind of seems like, okay, now it's like 5 years before Mania. Let's have Jimmy just cause Jey Uso a random match. No. Remember, they hate each other again, so now they're gonna fight.
This is one
when
of
this match should have happened, like the PLE after SummerSlam, but I know they wanted to do it at Mania.
I think that these guys, after they win, they could do the whole brother thing and make up. I kind of touched on it on my Logan Scriptures, the Bloodline one, where they make up and then they help Roman just to continue the bloodline. It'll be interesting to see what happens. I think there's a strong possibility Jay and Seth screw Cody, but we'll get to that when we get to that match.
We'll get to that. It's coming up soon. But the next match we already touched on a little bit. Gunther versus Sami Zayn for the IC.
This is going to be phenomenal.
I will probably say it's probably be the best match of the night.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know what to say here, other than, do you agree that it should have been Sammy? Are you one of these fans that are upset that it's Sammy and it should have been Chad Gable?
I think Sammy makes sense, and I think if Sammy beats Gunther, then his first challenger will be Chad Gable, and will be presented with at least a month, if not 3 months, of great Sami Zayn Chad Gable matches.
Yeah, I agree. Now, nothing against Chad Gable. He's a great guy, great in-ring competitor. But Sammy kind of like earned it. He deserves to be here. Deserves to be on the card with a one-on-one match with somebody like Gunther fighting for over a championship. And what has Chad Gable done in the past year?
Right. I'd say he puts on great matches. I'm honestly surprised he and Otis aren't in the ladder match.
That would have been a good spot for him. I'd rather have them in there besides A-Town Down Under.
Yeah, I hate them.
But that's neither here nor there. But, Chad Gable, his time will come. His time will come. Be patient. Patience is a virtue. Speaking of patience being a virtue, we waited a long time for this match. Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch. Women's World Championship. They had a great angle on the MMA Hour. I don't know if you saw
that.
Yeah, Becky just storming in and beating him up after. So they'd worked an angle. The segment after Punk essentially did his thing. So that was really interesting. But Becky's upset. Rhea, she's saying that Rhea has too much sex appeal. She's showing her her
stink
butt.
face.
She got real upset about that. She's undermining everything Becky worked for.
It makes me wonder if Rhea's going to have an entrance with a lot of sex appeal.
That would be something.
I'm not going to be angry whoever wins this one. I know the internet seems to think it's cool. Like, Becky Lynch is one of the new people that people think it's cool to hate on. But all she does is go out there. Her promo work has improved so much ever since she became the man. Her in-ring work is always top tier, and it just seems to constantly get better. She works great matches with everyone, whether it's Liv Morgan, Ronda Rousey, Nia Jax. I don't know why people like to hate on Becky Lynch. Probably because that whole theory that people don't like winners. But either way, Becky and Rhea, the winner of this, I'll be content.
Yeah, I'd be happy with either or winning. To me, it just feels this is supposed to be like a very intense rivalry.
Yeah.
Again, like I said, I'm not somebody that watches every single second of like programming for either show. Like I'm not watching every single second of Raw or SmackDown or like Dynamite or Rampage or Collision or anything like that.
Right.
It seems like they have a blood feud without any of the blood. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we'll see. I'm excited for the match anyway. This could be I think it'll be up there with
Oh yeah.
Gunther and Sami Zayn up there as the match of the night.
Yes.
Probably the most entertaining match of the night. The match with the most on the line here. Our main event for night one, the tag team match, Roman Reigns and The Rock.
So
Cody Rhodes and Seth freaking Rollins.
This will kind of give away who I think the winner is. But I think Cody Rhodes going into night 2 is going to have to fight under Bloodline rules.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a chance Seth Rollins or Jey Uso help and cost Cody. I think The Rock gets the win here. So that way, when Cody beats Roman night 2, you can get The Rock and Cody down the line. Because I heard that The Rock's penciled in for a few more matches this year.
It seems like, I don't know. Again, I don't know Rock's schedule. I'm not his personal assistant. But he's not really making movies right now.
No, it almost seems like after Black Adam.
You think he kind of got ran out of Hollywood, it looks like? But I don't want to... It's so hard to say. But it just seems like he has a lot of going on, like, business-wise. Like, he's running the UFL. He's on the TKO board. Like, he's doing a lot.
I think there's more reason now for him to come back and wrestle more. Because if other places... Oh, man, why are you going to do that? That's just... It used to be, that's just some wrestling company you used to work for.
Yeah.
Now it's... I'm on the board.
It's his wrestling company.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
He's the final boss. He don't give no damn about Triple H or nothing.
I wonder if Triple H makes an appearance during the Cody Roman match.
I don't think so. He's been very, very standoffish about because of his heart not doing anything physical.
You don't think he even not gets involved, but slides Cody like a sledgehammer if it's Bloodline rules?
That'd be crazy. We'll get into it.
Wouldn't it though?
Tomorrow night, or for when we go to night 2. I have my opinions on what I think should happen.
Okay.
But but real quick, I know you kind of touched on it earlier when we were talking about our good buddy, the Rizzler, what he was saying in Nashville, or not Nashville, Indianapolis.
Indianapolis?
Yeah. What have you thought about The Rock's comeback so far? From him just coming in, kind of unexpected, unannounced at least, other than some internet rumors. I think he was posted on Instagram by some dude right before. From taking Cody's spot to the Cody crybabies, crying out, getting Cody his spot back, and then kind of their pivot that he seems to be heading, like at least creatively, what's going on right now. What's been your overall like opinion of it?
I've loved it. I thought when the
That's
Rock
probably
came,
the most softball question ever. Because who is not loving this right now?
yeah, you say that, but there's a lot of people that aren't. They think it should have just been Cody and Roman going to Mania. It writes itself. Yeah, but this adds another layer, right? So whether Cody faces Rock down the line because Rock is still with the bloodline and he's pissed, or whether Rock turns on Roman, etc., this adds more layers to a story that already has so many different layers on it.
Well, here, let me ask you this: who is most likely to get turned on here?
In this match,
Yeah.
Cody. I think night 2, Roman.
Okay. I have to agree. I think something or somebody cost Cody this match.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's Seth.
It's got to be Seth or Jay.
I think they could introduce a new member of the Bloodline here.
If they do that, then it would be either Jacob Fatu or Zilla Fatu, who are... Jacob Fatu is the Samoan Werewolf in MLW, and Zilla Fatu is his brother. Zilla is working for Booker T's Reality of Wrestling. I think Jacob is too. Or there's Lance Anoa'i, who's Roman Reigns' brother. But we saw him on Raw a few years ago, and he looks not menacing.
Well, I just think it's because it seems like the story they're telling is that Roman and Rock have outsmarted Cody and Seth at every turn for the most part.
Yep.
They did it last Monday on Raw, where they thought Cody and Seth thought they had the upper hand, but they did not, and they got their asses kicked. I think the same thing kind of happens here, where Cody and Seth kind of have a plan going into it to try to get rid of Jimmy.
And Solo.
Maybe Jimmy gets taken on in his match with Jay. So they get rid of Solo. So like, okay, now it's gonna be just 2-on-2, even odds. And then the Rock and Roman be one step ahead, and they have another family member on the ready.
Yeah.
And the bloodline runs deep. But we'll get more into our predictions here in a minute. We'll go into night 2, Sunday, WrestleMania Sunday, the Pride versus the Final Testament, in a Philadelphia street fight, I believe it is.
Yes.
I love everybody in this match for the most part. Not a match I'm really looking forward to, if I'm being 100% honest.
Yeah.
This would be
a
refill the snack kind of match.
I'm sure the people you're interested in are not the ones I'm interested in. I don't like the Street Profits. I've been vocal. I've never liked them. I think Angelo Dawkins is fat, and even though he's lost the weight, he still works like a fat guy. I think Montez Ford can be charismatic, but I think he's one of those guys that doesn't feel he has to do a lot because Bianca is his wife. I really like the Authors of Pain and Paul Ellering. I think that's why they're doing this Philadelphia street fight. The Legion of Doom and Ahmed Johnson faced off with the Nation of Domination at WrestleMania 13. I don't remember where that was exactly, but that was in Chicago. But it's a Chicago street fight. I think it's kind of the throwback. I wouldn't be surprised if AOP came out with shoulder pads like LOD. I'm sure Lashley picks up the win here. I'd be surprised if Cross and AOP won. But then again, Cross and AOP really haven't done anything since coming back, since getting together. So it's a toss-up. At least Bobby has a match this year, right?
Yeah.
Not just the Andre Battle Royal winner.
Yeah. I have a lot of respect for Bobby. I do like Montez Ford. I like AOP. The others I'm okay without. But yeah, I just don't like the Street Profits with Bobby Lashley. I think this is just they're tagged together based on their race. That's what I think it is. They have nothing really else tying them together. But I'll give them a shot. This is probably my first time actually seeing them in a match together. To be honest, I don't remember ever actually seeing them working together.
I wonder if Omos returns and joins them, because Omos and MVP have not been doing a whole lot.
No, they can keep it that way, for all I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm.
The next match, Flat Earther AJ Styles taking on Globe Earther LA Knight. figure out which is the actual shape of the Earth. A battle between the biggest haters to ever exist. Um, I think this is very clearly a LA Knight showcase.
Yep.
If it goes well, this is his chance. If people in charge and power believe he can put on a great match with AJ, which isn't hard.
Right.
I think the Rock
AJ got a good match out of Shane.
I'll say the reverse. I think Shane got a good match out of AJ.
Okay.
I think if it goes good, I think LA finally gets that Rock on his back. I'm not saying he's going to be world champion by the end of the year, but I think he'll take him to new heights. He'll at least compete for it more. He'll be put into programs. What do you think? What do you think of this?
I know you're talking about LA Knight getting that rocket strapped to him, but I'm just still impressed with the volume of matches that AJ Styles has had at Mania. He's fought the New Day, he's fought the Undertaker, he's fought Chris Jericho, he's fought LA Knight, he had his match with Shinsuke. I mean, just hit after hit after hit. I'm so glad that AJ came to WWE. I know for a while they were worried they'd misuse him. I think AJ Styles is one of those far between instances of a non-WWE creation going to new heights. Whether LA Knight wins or loses here, this will be a big match for him. I do think he needs the big win here.
For sure. Next, our United States Championship triple threat match: Logan Paul, Randy Orton, Kevin Owens. I don't know.
So
I don't know.
I think it's pretty clear here that the reason Randy and Owens are in it is that way one of them can win the title. The other can take the pin, and then they can feud with each other after. So that way Logan stays strong, but then Logan doesn't have to continue having the U.S. title. My bet is Orton hitting an RKO out of nowhere on Kevin Owens, and then continuing the feud post-Mania.
Okay, I'll save your prediction for later. Again, I'm not too thrilled about this. I think it'd be fine.
I think Logan Paul is going to take some wicked fucking moves. I think there's a chance he tries to do a springboard move and it turns into a pop-up powerbomb. I think there's a chance he tries to do a springboard move and it turns into an RKO. I think Logan Paul is going to take a lot of bumps.
I'll let you handle this next one because I know these are two of your girls here.
I do. I really enjoy Bayley. I love Io Sky. I was super excited at SummerSlam when she cashed in her Money in the Bank. I've been a huge fan of hers ever since the Mae Young Classic days. This Damage Control feud has been nothing short of amazing. My big prediction for this one is Bayley brings back the wacky, waving, inflatable, arm-filling tube men.
I'm sorry, there's a fucking train going by my window right now. I think it says the Strowman Express on the side. I don't know.
Ugh.
But yeah,
hopefully he's not there.
Do you think she brings back her old theme too?
I don't know if she brings back the old theme. I mean, she could start out with her current theme and then it turn into the old one. I think it'd be cool if they somehow found Izzy and had her be there. Just
she's a
have
wrestler
it be
now.
Full circle. Yeah, I saw that. She did like a mini feud or something with Bully Ray. I don't really know. I never really liked her. But it should be a good match. This one, there's a lot of people on the internet that don't like Seth Rollins or Drew McIntyre. They think they're boring. I don't see how.
That's not even close. I would not want to watch wrestling with any of those people that have that opinion. But I think the real question is, does Drew win? I think.
Yes.
You say yes. I'm not completely sold. As far as I know, it's never reported that Drew has signed an extension yet. He's kind of just working. If he does sign and ends up winning, I think it's kind of they go hand in hand. If he wins, we kind of know he's kind of signed long term.
Yeah.
But
I also think
it'd be interesting to see if he wins here or at Clash at the Castle. It is in his home country,
again.
Scotland.
Oh, it's in Scotland this time. Okay.
Yeah, it's actually in Scottish proper this time. But yeah, I think this match opens.
Yeah.
That'd be my assumption.
That way Brock Lesnar can cash in and then get home.
Yeah. Uh, I which will bring me to this next match here. What I think, because I think those two will be involved in this match as well.
Think so?
Now, hear me out. This is my thought, because there seems to be on WTV and across social media with fans that this is the Avengers Endgame of Bloodline. We had the Bloodline Civil War, which was also a Marvel movie. I don't know if you knew that.
Yep.
Then we had people saying WrestleMania 39 was like Infinity War.
Okay.
Roman snapped his fingers. I don't know if you saw that. He did like a Thanos snap on Raw like a couple weeks ago. Yeah. So I'm kind of just fantasy booking myself here. But the reason why I say this, I agree that this is the Avengers Endgame of this feud here, is in the movie Avengers Endgame, we had 22 films. We had a long time, like years, over a decade of films that you all watched. And if you're somebody that watched each film, you kind of, it was because Endgame is very fan servicey. There's a lot of fan service moments.
Yep.
And literally everybody ever showed up in a movie shows up at the very end to take on Thanos, the final boss, whatever. And the reason it worked for Endgame, which sometimes doesn't really work for other movies that does the same thing, is that it was earned. Like, fans they watched every movie meticulously, looked for every little thing. And I think the same thing can be said here, especially if you're somebody that's been watching this Bloodline reign since the very beginning, since 2021. You've been here for the beginning. You've seen every match through every high and low, every hope that Roman would get defeated. I think now is the time that we always kind of like, people say they hate when matches are overbooked and they have a bunch of run-ins.
They love it.
That hasn't really happened that much recently. When was the last time there's been a bunch of run-ins? Like, you can't think of anything off the top of your head.
No.
So I think it's now time. We're owed it. We deserve it. It's going to be overbooked to hell. There's going to be multiple people. Fucking give me Seth. Give me Drew. Give me Sami Zayn. That's why, like, when I saw that Sami and Gunther were on night one, I was like, Sami's going to show up. Jay and Jimmy is going to show up. Solo will be there because it'll probably be Bloodline Rules. The Rock will be there. Fucking, give me Stone Cold. Give me John Cena. Give me everybody that's ever been a part of this Bloodline feud.
Yeah, especially with it being WrestleMania 40. So I talked about it in Indianapolis. I think there's even a shot. It's a long shot, but it would make sense for Taker to show up because, and I know we talked about Roman beat him at the one, but you know what we overlooked when we discussed it?
What's up?
Brock Lesnar beat Taker. Who is Lesnar's manager?
Paul Heyman.
So maybe Taker doesn't get involved with the wrestlers. Maybe he's the one that stops Paul Heyman from getting involved. And we talk about Paul Heyman's emotions on his face. Could you imagine if the lights went out and they came on and Taker was choking him?
Like I said, I'm all for it. I'm game for any overbooked nonsense in this match.
I think Austin and Cena do come out, and I talked about how it makes sense for them to hold Cody's hands up at the end, and it would be a good passing of the torch moment.
Well, I think the whole
Fort being WrestleMania 40.
I think the entire all the faces from the locker room come out at the end and hoist them up because the reign of terror, no pun intended here, like the reign of Reigns is over, right? Like that dark cloud that has been over the locker room and kayfabe wise. This guy that holding up the title, beating everybody, cheating to win, this unstoppable guy that can't really be pinned, at least in a singles match, fucking is finally vanquished. And he said last week, if he loses to Cody, he's gone.
Yep.
Which I don't think is necessarily true. We'll get to it here in a second because we're about to go do our picks. I can tell you what I think might actually happen. But yeah, that's my pitch. I just want this to be as overbooked as humanly possible. But do you have any last thoughts before we go into our picks and take it right back to the top?
I just have to say, for those listening, if you want a possibility of what could happen, and then the next year, uh, the most recent Logan scriptures, I dive into how the bloodline could continue until WrestleMania 41, but not in the way you'd think, with the unthinkable of Roman Reigns having to vanquish each bloodline member one by one.
All right, we're going to take a small break. Then on the other side, we'll do our picks. We'll be right back. And we're back. And now, Logan, it's time for our picks.
Okay.
Back to the top. Logan, if you could, actually, do you have, go into the Discord and why don't you put in a submission for the first one?
Okay.
Let me know when you're ready. Hold the phone, everybody.
Alright, here I am. So we'll go that one. That one.
Oh, don't do it yet. We're going to go through it one on one.
Okay.
Oh, jeez Louise. Alright. First match, Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee taking on Escobar and Dirty Dom. As you can see on your pick'em sheet here, I have the betting favorites brought to you by betonline.ag. Escobar and Dirty Dom are the favorites at minus 250. Logan, who do you have?
So I think I touched on it before. I think Dom and Santos win, and I think it sets up for a one more Dom and Rey Mania match, because then Rey will have a win, Dom will have a win, and then they can play off how Dom couldn't beat his dad without a partner. So then Dom puts his hair on the line.
Okay. I will also go with Santos, Escobar, and Dirty Dom. Like I said before, I think you said the exact same thing I'm thinking. I think Dom wins, gets the win over, and then leads to a match versus hair match of some time between him and his dad, somewhere down the line. Whether it be Backlash, SummerSlam, wherever. Next, we have Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Naomi taking on Damage Control. Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Naomi are huge favorites, pulling it at minus 2,000. And I would have to agree. I think it's kind of a slam dunk that they're going to win. No reason for Jade and Naomi to lose at their kind of on their return here, their first big match back. And Damage Control, I think this is kind of a comeuppance weekend for them. So I'll take Jade, Bianca, and
Naomi. There's no disagreeing there. Jade Cargill, Jade will probably get the pinfall. And I'm wondering if it sets up for Jade and Naomi or Jade and Bianca to eventually take those tag titles off of Kairi Sane and Asuka.
Next, we have the six-pack ladder match, Undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships. We have the Judgment Day, New Day, DIY, Awesome Truth, A-Town Down Under, New Catch Republic, or an unannounced tag team. Now, I'll say this is the only match on the card that does not have any betting on it. You're not allowed to bet on this match, I guess. So everybody's got about even odds. So who do you have? I'll let you go first on this one. Who do you have?
So I guess this past week, Michael Cole mentioned that the match will not end until both sets of titles are pulled down.
Yeah.
So everyone's speculating that maybe this is how they split the titles, and one team have one have the other. It's kind of a toss-up for me. I will say, if an unannounced team is brought in and they do split the titles up, I think that gives a bigger chance for the Dudleys to win. Because we still talk about it to this day that it's weird that when they were brought back, they were touted as 9-time WWE Tag Team Champions, 24-time Tag Team Champions, and they weren't given that 10th/25th title. So it almost makes sense for them to do that, pull it down, have it for a night or a week, and then drop it. It's a toss-up, though. I'm going to go with my boys, The New Day, and I'm going to hope that maybe either Big E comes out and helps them, or Big E comes out and celebrates with them afterward.
Yeah, I'd like to see Big E on WTV. I am just going to go with DIY. I like them. I think it's their time. They need a good win here. I'll go DIY. No other shenanigans. They'll get both titles. The next brother versus brother, Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso. Jey Uso is the favorite here at minus 250.
Well, clearly, because Jimmy sucks.
These are pretty close in wrestling odds here for betting odds. I will go with Jey Uso.
Me as well.
I think it's kind of it's WrestleMania. The good guys win. Good guys win at Mania.
Wow.
Send the fans home happy. When in doubt, pick the good guy.
Yeah, I'm going with Jay. I don't agree that to send the fans home happy. I don't think Jimmy is very good by himself. I'm not totally impressed with Jay either. I know that he's got a lot of fan momentum when he enters the arena, but I just think both of them are a little bit lackluster.
Well, I think I'll put it this way: Jimmy is going to get a normal entrance, most likely. He's just going to walk to the ring, and Jay is going to get a special one. So
with Lil Wayne.
Typically, the writing's on the wall if that happens.
Yep.
So, give me Jay. Next, Intercontinental Championship, Gunther taking on Sami Zayn. Gunther is actually the favorite in this match. He's still a favorite at minus 160.
I think Sammy's got to win. If Sammy doesn't win here, the only person that could beat Gunther would be a debuting Dragunov. But I don't know if they're going to wait that long. I mean, he's already crushed Honky Tonk Man's record.
Right.
So what's left for him to do? And like I said, this is in the 80s. They're not going to have him hold both titles.
No. I will also... You know what? No, I gotta be different here. I'll go Gunther. I think Gunther wins. Okay. But I'll make a separate prediction here. I think he drops it the night after Mania.
You think it's to a debuting person, or
he will beat Sammy in a close match here? He'll come out and cut a promo on Raw. So there's nobody here on his level. Blah 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 blah. He'll take any challenger tonight, and then somebody comes out. I don't know who it is.
Ooh, it could be a returning Sheamus.
It could be somebody. It could be anybody. And I think that's when he loses. Gets caught off guard by whoever it is because he thinks some schmuck's going to come out. There's somebody that he actually is kind of scared of. Whether it be Dragunov or Sheamus, something along those lines. People that have beaten him before. But I'll go Gunther, wins at Mania. Sammy continues to claw at a championship. Next up, we have Mommy, Rhea Ripley, taking on Becky Lynch for the Women's World Championship. Rhea Ripley is the favorite as of time of recording at minus 500. I will have to agree with that. I think Rhea wins here and retains. She is just too good as champion. I don't think it's time for her to drop the strap just yet.
I do think the two of them will have... I think they'll both have special entrances. Big Time Bex and Mommy. I'm excited to see their attires. I'm excited to see them come out. I still think... I know I said earlier that I think Judgment Day takes all the L's. I think Dominic does win his. I think the rest of Judgment Day takes the L's. And then the next night on Raw, he's kind of like, how come I'm the only one that won? That plants the seeds for Rhea to eventually beat the shit out of him. So, in the hopes that Rhea does beat the shit out of him, I'm going Becky Lynch.
Awesome. Has she dropped a "you may be mommy, but I'm a real mom" line yet?
I'm sure she has. That sounds like something that's familiar.
Sounds about right. Sounds like something she should say. Next, we have the main event of night one, Cody and Seth versus Rock and Roman. Roman Reigns and The Rock are huge favorites right now at minus 1,000.
I touched on it before. I think Roman and Rock win. I think there's some tomfoolery, and I think The Rock gets the win, so that way later on when Cody gets his win, we can get Rock and Cody at either SummerSlam or at the next Blood Money Premium Live event.
I'd have to agree. I believe that the Rock and Roman will win fairly easily because I think it has to set up bloodline rules here.
Yep.
You just have to get there, whether it's clean or dirty, whatever. Just to show how big of a favorite they are. If you were to risk $100 on this match, and you bet $100 on the Roman and the Rock to win, you'd only win your net profit would be $10. So
yep.
That's how big of a favorite they are right now.
This goes right along with my scriptures, and then having The Rock eventually fight Cody. I'm going with Rock and Roman.
I don't think there's too many slam dunks on this card, but I think this is one of them. You had they would have done the stipulation of Bloodline rules and showed you what it was on Monday, if they weren't gonna go through with it on Sunday.
Yep.
Next, we have the Pride and the Final Testament. The Pride is a slight favorite at -200.
I'm going with Final Testament.
I will go with them too. I feel like this is a match they have to win. Karrion Kross has kind of been just treading water.
He's a turd in the punch bowl.
That's kind of been his MO in WWE, and maybe this would kind of give their group seems to have more cohesion. Is that the word?
Cohesion. Yeah.
Cohesion. I don't know. I can't speak. I do podcasts, but I don't know words. They seem to be more of a solidified group with a purpose.
Yes.
So I'd like to see them get the win. So I think both of them with their Final Testament at +150, taking the underdogs here. AJ Styles, LA Knight. LA Knight is a favorite at -600. And I will take the favorite here. I think this is a match LA Knight needs to win. AJ Styles does need to win this match. I think AJ Styles, even after this match, he will go on to bigger, better things. He will not be affected by this match. But LA Knight with a big statement win, finally. With everybody watching, everybody chanting his name. Everybody saying LA Knight, yeah.
Yep, it'll be big at WrestleMania 40. Like you said, AJ doesn't need the win. It is at that point now where no matter who he's in the ring with, all he's going to do is help propel them. I think AJ Styles will be involved in the heavyweight title picture within 3 months of this anyway. Win, lose, or draw. So LA Knight's got the win for me.
Yeah.
The next one has both of my namesakes in it: Logan Paul, Randy Keith Orton, and Kevin Owens. Logan Paul is the favorite, which I hope not. When he won the U.S. title and they teased that maybe he'd be on TV more, I was all for it. But I think a secondary title, especially one that's usually used as a workers' title, should be on TV a little bit more. I said earlier, I think 2 other people are involved in this, so that way someone else could eat the pin and the other will win the title. I think Kevin Owens is going to hit some nasty pop-up powerbomb on Logan Paul, and right when he thinks he's going to win, he's going to get an RKO out of nowhere. And Randy Orton is going to end WrestleMania 40 as United States Champion.
I have the same reasoning, but a different outcome. I think Logan Paul still wins with taking advantage of something Kevin Owens and Randy Orton does. Randy Orton takes out Kevin Owens, Logan Paul swarms in there and steals the pin. That's what I think. I think Logan Paul hangs with the belt for a little bit longer. Long-term thinking here, Logan Paul, Cleveland, SummerSlam. I think he goes into SummerSlam in Cleveland, United States champion. So I think he'll hold it on for that long. So I'll take Logan Paul at -450. I'm a big Logan Paul guy. I really have been liking his run in WWE. I don't like him anywhere else outside of WWE. I think he's a big POS.
I think he does good in the ring, but
he's like such a I don't know how to say this. Like, if I think of a modern heel, what I would think would be a good one. It's not necessarily the first thing you think of. I think of spoiled, entitled, rich YouTuber that comes in, thinks he's the hottest shit, and through one way or another is actually successful and is backing up his trash talk. Nobody actually really likes him, right?
Not even his own mama.
He knows the game. He's been playing it pretty well. I think.
Can't wait for another KSI run-in.
Logan Paul is definitely getting an entrance. I don't know if you saw. Somebody posted a picture on a freeway heading towards Philadelphia. A giant prime truck, like a monster truck looking thing, with a giant prime bottle on top. So I don't think somebody's just driving around with that. But next, Io Sky and Bayley, the Women's Championship. Bayley, a favorite here at -700. And I think that will be the case.
Yes.
Bayley's gets her big moment here at Mania. It seems like as she had like a big Mania win. I think they won the tag titles, maybe. I don't know.
This will be her. This will be her big shining moment, and I mean, I'm super excited for it. I think this is going to be one hell of a match, and Bayley has done nothing but run the women's division every chance she's gotten, and this is going to cement her legacy. It's helped cement the Four Horsewomen as probably the greatest women's faction of all time.
Unofficial faction. I don't know if they've ever teamed up. In fact, we haven't got like a fatal 4-way with them. I mean, yeah, ever. It's kind of like, how do we now get like a Shield triple threat and a Four Horsewomen fatal 4-way on the same Mania?
Right.
I feel like that's like a slam dunk thing you could have done. Anyway,
Sasha would have pouted in the hall if she was booked to lose.
Hey, now that's not confirmed.
Daddy, chill. I'm gonna believe it.
The World Heavyweight Championship, Seth freaking Rollins taking on the Scottish psychopath, Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre is the favorite at -600. Logan, who do you have?
I have McIntyre, and you mentioned earlier about him winning it at Clash of the Castle. I think he walks in as heavyweight champion.
Okay. I will take Seth, just so I can stay consistent with what I was saying earlier. I think Seth somehow pulls it out, skin of his teeth, maybe with interference from Punk. Or, maybe I just talked myself out of it. What year was that? Maybe they pull like a SummerSlam 97.
Oh, yeah.
With Punk. Maybe he's trying to attack Drew and ends up getting Seth. I might like that more. Yeah, give me Drew. I'll take Drew. I talked myself out of it. Then, the main event. Can Cody Rhodes finish his story? It's Roman Reigns taking on Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Championship. Now, this is one thing I don't get. I'll get into it. On TV, The Rock keeps calling it the Universal Championship. On this graphic, it says the WWE Champion. Have they dropped the Universal title, name yet? I mean, they're just called the Undisputed WWE Championship? Or is it, or what?
It's whatever The Rock wants.
It's whatever The Rock wants. All right. Cody Rhodes
if
is the
Rock
favorite.
Wants, it'll be the Fruity Pebbles Championship.
Cody Rhodes is the favorite at -425. Who do you got?
I got Cody. I do think there's going to be a lot of interference on both sides. I'm almost going to guarantee it's bloodline rules, and they whipped him with the belt. Cody Rhodes is going to win the match using the cowbell that his dad used at Madison Square Garden. They did the whole, how they say you don't introduce a gun in a movie unless you're going to use it later?
Yeah.
They did that random bull rope match with Cody and Shinsuke on the Raw. And then after that, that's when they started having the Bloodline kick his ass, and now it could be Bloodline rules, and we whipped you, ha ha ha. Cody's gonna use the cowbell, and then he and his dad are gonna stand proud with the heavyweight title.
I will agree. I think Cody Rhodes is gonna win. We're gonna get a big whoa. I think that's what we're gonna hear.
I think the crowd will do it because Cody's gonna be sobbing like a little fucking baby.
I think he can pull it off. I think he can belch it out before he starts crying again. But like I said, I'm waiting for this is like the WWE version of Avengers Endgame here.
Yep.
I have to work during this.
There's so much that could happen. Like I said, Austin and Cena could hold his hands up as passing of the torch. Cena could come out to take out Solo. Austin could come out to take out The Rock. It makes sense for Taker to come out. It would be so cool for Triple H to slide him a sledgehammer, especially since that was the big thing in AEW, him taking out the throne with the hammer. I mean, could you imagine if at the end of Mania, Cody Rhodes is flanked? I know you said you think the whole locker room. But imagine for his character if he's flanked by Triple H, Undertaker, Stone Cold, and John Cena.
Wow. I think this is probably the only time it would actually work, and not feel like forced. I'll die in this mountain again. Cody Rhodes does not fucking win this match, and what was all this for? Right? Let's do it. Let's get this belt off of Roman. Let's not see him. I think this is how it ends. I know I heard this from somebody else, and I can't tell you who it was. I wish I could give credit to the person that said this. But I think this is like Roman and The Rock. They have everything planned out. It's all going to a plan. But Cody outsmarts them. And I think even by the end of it, it gets like evens. Like there's even odds here, right?
Yeah.
I don't think Cody wins because of the interference. I think it just evens the odds, and we finally get like Roman and Cody one-on-one, and Roman fails. Roman fails. He does not win. Cody beats him 1, 2, 3, middle of the ring, and then The Rock has Roman is leaving. He's laying sitting on the stage, sad. The Rock gives him a look of disappointment, but he's not.
It sets up Roman having to fight the Bloodline, which again,
and I
Logan
think
Scriptures 10.
I think The Rock becomes the head of the table. He takes the Bloodline away from Roman, and Roman goes in as that's what you said. Roman is the face here, and he takes on. Okay, we're on the same page here.
And he uses the family, he uses the bloodline, and that's where I said in my scripture, as he beats each member, he takes the blood from their forehead and wipes their name off the family tree. He starts with his brother, and he ends with The Rock.
I think it's happening. WrestleMania 41 will get the Roman Rock match that we wanted. Or not that we wanted, but what people have wanted. This year, we'll get it next year, where it should have happened. I think it's a good nice little bow there.
Yeah.
To end WrestleMania 40. Now, for those of you that are going to do the forum, there is a tiebreaker. Cause I know there's only so many matches and so many kind of ones we think are for sure victories. So there probably will be some people tied towards the top. So for the tiebreaker, was it the combined announced attendance for night 1 and night 2? So say night 1 is 85,000 and night 2 is 83,000 or 87,000. Whatever that combined number is, that'd be 160 something. So type that in. Whoever is the closest to the actual number will be the winner.
Okay.
So I think that's all. Any closing thoughts here before we wrap it up?
No, this is just one of those manias where there's a lot that could happen. And it's 40, right? So you they're going to pull out all the stops. I guarantee Hulk Hogan's going to do a opening. He's going to do the opening monologue. As much as people don't like Hulk or Terry, he was such an integral part for the first 9. He had that great match at 18. And with McMahon being gone, right? Hogan's pretty much all that's left of that old era of WWE.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to do an opening. I hope they do the backstage things like they've done before. They have the cheeky little legend spots. I think at a big event like this, it's needed. We'll see what happens.
Well, just looking at the card, there's a lot of time on Sunday. There's more matches announced for Saturday than there are Sunday. So I think if anything crazy like that would happen, like a legend segment, I think it will be Sunday. I think they're kind of leaving. Either Cody and Roman are getting a lot of time, which I wouldn't be too upset about, or there's gonna be a lot of little fun segments, which we all love. We're all here for.
Yes.
If you're watching this on Friday, Friday morning when it first comes out. We are doing a live stream later in the day today, 9 around 9 p.m. We'll start whenever we're ready, but we're aiming for 9. We're doing our March Madness tournament. We'll talk more about WrestleMania, anything that's come up since then. That's where we'll talk about the newest addition to the Hall of Fame that didn't get added into our video. So go and check that out.
Talk about Ronda Rousey.
We'll talk about Ronda. We'll talk about Punk, and then we'll call some of the matches as it's happening. We got a lot of topics. We'll have some fun questions for Logan. And if you have anything you want to bring, because it won't be too long of a live stream, but I'm expecting to go at least 2.5 hours. So there'll be a lot to talk about. Come hang out, come chat, come hit the like button, come help us get some more subscribers. As Logan said, I'm putting it out here on the recording, so you can't backtrack now. If we get a play button,
just let the people know how many that is.
Well, as of right now, it's 100,000. You never know. They could change it. They can make like a 50,000 one. You never know. But if Logan gets a play button, if I can present him with a play button, he will get a tattoo on his ass.
Yep.
Of PWP. And I will be there. I'm gonna see
on the cheek.
On the cheek. I'll see if the tattoo artist will let me personally write it, because that'd be fun. So yes, please subscribe. Follow us on all of our socials, and share the Google form. It'll be in the description. Share it with your friends. Because we get a lot of turnout. This will be something we can do every year. It's something we did every year in college. I did it in high school with my friends. I brought it to Logan in college, and Logan won. I think most of them.
There's only one I lost. Yep, I tied one. I won 3. I lost 1.
So yeah, you have the memory for that. I don't even know. Only thing I know for sure is I won the very first one I did against some of my friends from high school that didn't watch wrestling. So it's kind of like a layup. Mm-hmm. But we had a stipulation, which I know you won't do. The loser was between me. The bet between me and my one friend that I had. His name was Joel. Whoever had the most points, not necessarily won the whole thing, but whoever had the most between us two, the loser had to get their head shaved.
Oh.
So by the other person. So now we're going to a professional barber or whatever.
Oh.
I shaved this kid's head in my bathroom Monday morning after WrestleMania 28 because it was during spring break. It was an awesome time. So we won't do that this time. I'll let Logan keep his hair, and I'll keep my hair. But yeah, that was it. We're gonna go to bed now. We'll see you guys at the live stream, and follow us on all of our socials: Facebook, Twitter. One of us will be live tweeting the entire event here. I'm assuming Logan will probably be night 2, so I'll be at work.
Yep.
I'll do my best to try to chime in when I can. So follow all socials, link tree in the description. Other good stuff. Have a great WrestleMania weekend, everybody.